Welcome to Constantly Connecting Humanity 360. And on the panel tonight is Pam Dai, Forever Tai Chi, and myself, Dan Tracy, Martial Arts in Motion. And we're going to be talking with Dawei Li. All right. And Dawei has been practicing martial arts. Can you explain? I know you're working with some of the university athletes and staff. So maybe talk a little bit about what you're doing there, please.
Well, I'm working with one of the local college baseball teams, and I started out. I do Tuesday nights. I do like a half hour with their whole class during their mental training. So I incorporate breathing and meditation and stance work and some partner drills. And then on Wednesdays, I work with the recovering players to get them off the injured list and get them back on the field quicker. So with that, I pretty much apply anything from Kung Fu and Tai Chi to body work to stretching, really any kind of movement, any kind of awareness. They've got various balls there for training that they use, so we break those out. I break out both these and the steel rings. I've been known to break out my Wing Chun swords, break out staff. So anything that will expand their mind, get them moving. And the big thing is get them moving into those areas. Like obviously a lot of shoulder issues. Several people have torn labrums. So how do we get them to move more with awareness into those areas that are healing? So any tool that is around, I will use to get them to move into that. Like we were doing a staff drill the other day where I don't know if I can really whip this thing around, but it comes around, you catch it in your arm and get the body whip going. Because one of the big things that the baseball players need is rotational power. So I focus a lot on ways for them to get that whole body rotational power. And as I continue breaking into more and more sports teams, like I have MSU football in my sights, for them it's going to be a lot more fishtails and cloud hands and various other kung fu fight drills. Because when they're up in the business, having that ability to shove somebody's force off, take it to the other way a little bit, or to draw in it and rebound, that's going to improve their performance on the field. Of course, I constantly talk about song. And, well, from personal experience how most people have spent so much of their life here. You say relax, and I am relaxed. So I spend a lot of the time getting them into that space of relaxation. And I've had several players tell me that when they relax, guess what? They hit better or they pitch better. So it's a lot of the Tai Chi. Well, I can't say all of it because I haven't done it for 10 lifetimes yet, but much of what I do for these athletes is the Tai Chi principles. And then, of course, I pepper it with some Kung Fu stuff and other stuff to keep it interesting and keep them wanting to come back. But yeah, I keep the principles throughout.
When you work with the Parkinson persons, before you had the rings available, what techniques did you find successful?
One of the biggest ones is the baby steps walk, where we just get them into the good Wu Chi, and so they're sunk into the heels. They take that step with only the leg moving, place the foot, push from the heel through the hips, maintaining the Zhang Ding. So instead of them doing the typical baby walking where they're leaning forward and being off balance, it's all about taking that step and consciously deciding how and when and where and why the body moves. So I'd say probably 10-15 minutes of class, I have them walk. Sometimes I have them doing tiger stepping or various ways of stepping, but it's always rooted in slow it down, breathe into it, and consciously move. And so many times I've heard from others, I don't fall as much. I'm more aware of how I walk. One gentleman said he really notices, like, for example, if he's walking down an incline, he's much more capable of handling the incline as opposed to just going, oh, here it is. He feels into it much more and he's more fluid as he goes. And of course, basic, we do Grand Tai Chi, we do Rise and Fall, we do Inward and Outward. I love giving them Fisherman Cast the Net. We do Fish Tails and Cloud Hands. Haven't really got much beyond that. Well, there's a few that I'll throw in here. Sometimes, most gyms have, they've got the various levels of squishy balls.
Mhm.
So I'll bring in balls and have them like just a basic rolling the ball move, but adding that ball and really gives them that understanding of, because if they're rolling the ball without something, their hands are nowhere near each other. But when they've got the
Mhm.
ball in there, now it really gives them that ability to match their hands, which of course ultimately matches their whole body.
Mhm.
So really, it's when I go into class with my Parkinson's people, it's playtime. I don't go in there with any ideas of we're going to do this, we're going to do that. It's just, okay, where's everybody at? Let's start playing. And oh, hey, somebody says, my XYZ is hurting. Is there something we can do for that? So sometimes the class will be more focused on a specific body part or a specific issue. So there's no, it's just a go with the flow thing, and the classes always end up being awesome.
So these